Welcome back. My name is Krysta French and this is my yoga channel. Today's practice is focused on twisting. This is a Vinyasa flow style class, so expect to move quite a bit as we mobilize the spine and detox the body through the twists. You won't need any props for this class. We'll begin sitting back on the heels with the hands resting on top of the thighs. So begin to lengthen the spine. Draw the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, exhale completely. Maybe sigh it out. And then we'll slowly come all the way down, finding balasana. So child's pose. The hands are going to come down by your heels. Forehead rests on top of the mat. Relaxing, just letting yourself get heavy for a moment. And start to walk your hands forward. Shift onto your hands and knees. Find your table pose. Begin to move through your cat and cow. So as you inhale, the belly drops, and on your exhale, round through the spine. So try to link together breath with movement as we get into the hips and get into the shoulders, and just start to wake up the spine. Eventually come back to that table, inhale, the right arm lifts, and then exhale, thread it all the way under the left. And then finding as much of that right shoulder blade down to the ground, keep walking the hand over to the side. You might move that left arm if it feels good. Gently twisting. And then eventually left hand comes down, sweep the right arm open, lower the hand down, another round. Inhale, left arm high, sweep it all the way underneath. Again, feel free to move that right hand if it feels good. So either way, just rotating the ribs open. Gently mobilizing the spine. So nothing too intense to start. Lower the right hand down, sweep the left arm high. Come back into your table. Walk the hands just one palms width forward, tuck the toes, press back for your first down dog. So begin to move around in your down dog. You might roll your ankles around. You can bicycle the knees, shift the weight through the hips. Shake the head out, yes and no. Open and close your jaw. Keep grounding and pressing through the palms. And then shorten the stance just a little bit. So a shorter down dog. We're going to take a twist here. The right hand's going to come across the left leg. So on the outer edge of that leg. And then peek under the left armpit. So just rotating the ribs open toward the left side. It's kind of funky. You might need to take a peek at the screen. Lower the right hand and twist over to the right side. So left hand is crossing over toward the right leg. Again, taking a peek under the armpit. And then lower that hand down. Take a breath. Look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Find your flat back. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, the arms reach high, palms press, and lower the hands through the heart and all the way to the sides. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we're folding, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a flat back. Lower the hands, step back to plank. Lower the knees, and then come down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So keep in mind that as we move through our vinyasas, you're always welcome to skip them, maybe sub it out for child's pose, or you can lower the knees and come all the way down to the belly as we're taking those chaturangas. Gaze comes forward, step or float up to the front, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, we're folding. Inhale, arms lift, palms press, and hands come down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, we're folding in half. Inhale to lengthen, flat back. And hands down, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing dog. So steady breath. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Step it up in between the hands. Lower the back knee. Left hand stays down. Take a little twist. Reach your right arm high. Lower the right hand. Back toes tuck under. Lift the back knee. Reach up. Find a high lunge. From here, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, open to warrior two. Shoulders on top of the hips. Back heels grounded. And then we're transitioning right into extended side angle pose. This variation, the right hand comes down on the inside of the foot. The left arm's creating a straight line from fingertip to heel. From here, lower the left hand, square the hips forward, drop the back knee for a lizard variation. Press the heart and the hips forward. So keep lengthening, breathing deeply, getting into the hips. And then right hand comes on the outside of the foot. Shorten the stance a little bit. Hands come together. Take a twist to the right side. This time, elbow hooks over the thigh. Back toes tuck under, lift the back knee. Rotate the ribs open. Keep lengthening the spine. And then split your arms. So outside or inside of the leg. Arms are open out onto a T. Keep the core strong and lift the torso all the way up. From here, right hand falls, left arm reaches back. It's going to feel a little bit weird. And then cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. Step back. Vinyasa is yours. So take it or leave it. Meet back in downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Maybe sigh it out. And then lift the left leg high. Step it up in between the hands. Lower the back knee. Right hand comes down. Sweep that left arm high. Rotating the ribs open. Nice gentle twist. Lower the left hand. Back toes tuck under. Lift the knee. Reach up. High lunge. So really relaxing across the shoulders as we press the heart and the hips forward. Spin the back heel down. Open to warrior two. So shoulders on top of the hips. Keep that back heel grounded. Nice deep breath here. And then exhale, extended side angle pose. So this version, left hand comes on the inside of the foot. Straight line from fingertip to heel. Nice big stretch in the side body. And then eventually turning the chest toward the ground. Lower the right hand. Drop the right knee. Find your version of lizard pose. So you can always have that option of keeping the back knee lifted. So my preference right now is just to lower it. From here, shorten the stance a little bit. Take the hands together in front of the heart as you lift the torso. Twist over to the left side. So hook the elbow over the thigh. Back toes tuck under, lift the back knee. Lengthen through the entire body. Split your arms. Open them nice and long. Keep them open. As you engage your core, lift your torso. Arms are opening wide. Left hand falls. Right arm reaches all the way back. And then cartwheel the hands down. Step back. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing dog. How's your breath here? So if your breath is maybe quick and uneasy, start to settle it. Gaze comes forward. Step or float up to the front. Exhale, we're folding. Inhale, arms reach, high palms press. Hands come down through the heart. And take a breath here. Grounding through the feet. Release the hands, sweep your arms high. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale to your flat back and hands down. Step or float back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Relax across the face. Smooth out and lengthen the breath. Gaze comes forward. This time, step or float up. We're finding chair pose. So Utkatasana, get heavy in your hips. Weights back in the heels. Sink a little bit deeper. Hands at the heart. Take a twist to the right side. Rotate the ribs open. Try to get the knees in line with each other. Sink a little bit deeper. Take the gaze down toward the right foot. Shift into the right foot. Peel the left foot up. And then with control, slowly step it back for a twisted lunge. Get strong in the legs. And then slowly untwist, find a high lunge again. Arms reaching high, open to warrior two. So we've been here before. This time revolve your warrior. Reach back through those right fingers. Start to straighten that front leg. And then arms open wide out onto a T, finding triangle pose. So Trikonasana. Gaze can follow that top hand if it feels okay on the neck. If it doesn't, just release the gaze down. And then keep the core strong as you lift all the way up. Hands at the heart, lift the chest, and then exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, and stay folded. So the crown of the head is reaching down to the ground. The palms are flat and pressing into the earth. Lower belly's pulling up and in. From here, lengthen the spine, find your flat back. Lower the right hand, lift the left arm up, find a little twist. Maybe you drop the hand across the low back. You can straighten it up toward the sky again. Lower the hand, switching arms. The right arm lifts this time. Little twist. Steady breath. Lower the hand. Find your flat back again. Hands at the hips. Come all the way up. Lift the chest. Take the right foot, point it forward. Coming back into that high lunge. The back heel pops up. Hip bones are squaring to the front. From here, bend your elbows. Right elbow comes on top of the left as you cross your hands for eagle arms. So find a steady gaze in front of you. The weight comes into that right leg. Lift the left leg up, cross it over the right thigh, and then you can either use that left foot as a little kickstand on the floor, or the full toe wrap around the calf muscle. So sink a little bit deeper, squeeze a little bit tighter. You should be lifting those elbows. Untwist your arms, and we're stepping back, high lunge. Hands together in front of the heart. We're finding that twist one more time. So elbow over the thigh, gaze comes down to the right foot, step it together, coming into your twisted chair. Untwist for chair pose. Big breath here. Exhale to fold. You can separate the feet a little bit, take opposite elbows, and just kind of sway your body side to side. So relax across the shoulders, then release the hands. From here, sit back again, find your chair pose. Utkatasana. Get nice and deep in the hips, hands together in front of the heart. Find your twist to the left side this time. So top palm presses down, rotate the ribs open, and then shift into that left foot. Right foot steps all the way back. So twisted lunge. Get strong in the legs. Untwist, come up for your high lunge. Arrow straight arms. From here, coming right into warrior two. So back heel comes down. Gaze is falling over those fingers. And then revolve your warrior. So peaceful warrior, reach back through those left fingers, big side body stretch, straighten that front leg, and then arms open wide, right into Utthita Trikonasana, so triangle pose. And remember that left hand can lower any amount. It might come down onto the shin, it might be resting on the ground or a block, or even your yoga toe grip. Come all the way up with control. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, and then fold over. So keeping those hands interlaced as you fold. Maybe shifting a tiny little bit of weight forward into the balls of the feet. With control, we're coming all the way back up. Lift the heart. Shake out the hands and shoulders, back heel pops up as we shift the hips forward, high lunge. From here, bend your elbows, left arm over the right, cross your hands, eagle pose. So shift into that left foot. Hug the right knee up and cross it around. So we're either using the foot as a kickstand or the full toe wrap. Either way, sink a little bit deeper, squeeze a little bit tighter. Press your hands away from the face. Lift your elbows up and then untwist, arms reach high. Steady yourself as you step back for a high lunge. From here, hands together, twisting over to the left side. So rotate the ribs, steady the gaze, somewhere low. Shift into that left foot, step the right foot up for a twisted chair. With control, untwist, chair pose. And then come all the way up, straightening the whole body. Hands come together in front of the heart. Take a moment to breathe here. Relax across the jaw, relax your forehead, and then inhale, the arms lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, and hands down. Step or float back. Take your vinyasa, meeting back, downward facing dog. Steady breath, calm mind. And then from here, we're going to shift forward, come into our plank pose. So try to make a nice long, strong body here, all the way from the crown of the head to the heels, having a little bit of a rounding through the upper back, pushing the floor away. With control, slowly lower all the way down to the belly. You can take the hands, make a little pillow for your forehead, maybe wiggle the hips side to side. Nice steady breath, just feeling the support of the ground beneath you. From here, you're going to take your hands in front of you like you're finding a sphinx pose. So elbows are under the shoulders, and then bend your right knee out to the side. So it's like you're taking a half frog pose. From here, the right hand presses into the mat, lift your right elbow, flip the left palm up, slide it all the way under the right hand, and then open your chest. So rolling the entire spine down onto the ground. The gaze is falling off to the right side. So if that was pretty confusing, take a peek at your screen right now. So it's like a spinal twist, but it might feel a little bit deeper than our normal version of our spinal twist. We do get into it in kind of a funky way, so if that was confusing, you're not alone. The right hand comes all the way back. We're coming back into that sphinx pose, elbows underneath the shoulders. This time, left knee bends to the left side. Press into the left hand, lift the elbow, flip the right palm. Now slip that hand all the way under the left. Start to roll your chest open. Arms open wide. Try to get as much of the left shoulder blade down onto the ground as you can. Gaze falls off to the left. And keep in mind here, if your knee is popping up off of the ground, that's totally normal, right? You don't have to have it completely flat on the floor. And just notice how the spine feels here. Full, steady breath. From here, taking that left hand all the way around, straightening the leg, coming back into that sphinx pose, and then lower the head down like you're coming onto a little pillow with your hands. Wiggle the hips side to side. Let it go. Straightening and pointing the legs. Take the hands under the shoulders. Little cobra pose here. So lift the heart, roll the heart open. You might put some weight into the hands as you lift up and then lower back down. Walk the hands back just slightly, press back. Balasana, child's pose. So an extended child's pose, the arms reach long out in front of you. Forehead comes down. You might even roll your forehead back and forth. From here, we're going to shift forward and then press all the way back, downward facing dog. Nice steady breath. Gaze comes forward, stepping or floating the feet through, coming down onto our sits bones. Legs start to lengthen. You can shake out the legs a little bit. Right leg stays long. Left foot comes into the inner thigh, Janu Sirsasana. Inhale, the arms stretch high, and exhale, start to fold over that leg. So as you inhale, reach your heart forward, lengthen the spine, and then as you exhale, you can fold a little bit deeper. So focus here on placing the belly on top of the thigh rather than just reaching for the foot, right? So it doesn't really matter where our hands land here. Focus more on the stretch in the spine and the hamstrings. Come all the way back up. Left foot's going to cross over the right thigh, and then bend that right knee, finding a full twist. Right hand extends up, left hand's behind you. Twist over toward the left side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, look back over the left shoulder. Nice full steady breath. And then gaze comes forward, untwist. Find a little counter twist. So take a bow over to the right side. Come all the way back up. Straighten that right leg. From here, flex your left foot. Take the foot across the right knee. Bend your right knee. So we're coming all the way up into like a figure four. Lift your heart. Reach your chest forward. From here, coming into double pigeon. So if you want to go deeper, the right foot's coming over to the left side. We're working on ankle over knee, knee over ankle. So focus on the stretch. Don't focus on how deep you're going in the pose, right? So it's okay if you don't go that deep. Just focus on how it feels. And if you want to go deeper, you can start to fold forward. We're slowly going to come back up, just placing the right foot down into the ground, still having that figure four. Finding a twist here, so it's a little funky. The left elbow comes into the sole of the foot, so we rotate to the right side. The gaze comes over to the right shoulder, and then slowly we're going to untwist. So extending both legs long, give them a shake. Left leg stays long, right foot comes in. Flexing, inhale, the arms lift, and exhale, fold. So Janu Sirsasana. Again, focus on placing belly over the thigh. Getting into the spine, getting into the hamstrings and the low back, rather than just rounding and working on touching the feet. If you touch the feet, great, but just keep in mind it's just a foot. And we're slowly going to lift back up. And then that right foot's going to hook across the left thigh. To go deeper in your twist, bend the left knee. Place it by the right hip. Inhale, stretching high, and then exhale, twist to the right side. So gaze drops back across the right shoulder. Full steady breath. With control, look back over, untwist, find a little counter pose, take a little bow. Come all the way back up, extend that leg long, and then flexing that right foot, coming into our figure four with the leg. So foot comes over the knee, and then we're bending that left knee. To go deeper, find double pigeon. So ankle over knee, knee over ankle. Keep in mind, it is totally fine and normal to have a lot of space in between the ankle and the knee. Right? It's okay. So just doing what you can do, noticing how your hips react to this. Reaching the heart forward very gently, very slowly. Getting into the IT band, into the glutes. And then we're slowly lifting back up. The left foot comes down onto the ground. Lift the heart. find your twist. So right elbow comes into the sole of the foot as we rotate over toward the left side. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, get a little bit deeper, looking back over your shoulder. Slowly untwist and extend the legs long. Give them a nice big shake. From here, we're going to separate the legs out to either side. Take the hands behind you, scoot your hips forward. So you can stay with the hands behind you if that feels deep enough in your Uttanasana Konasana, or to go deeper, you might walk the hands forward. You might come onto the forearms and just reach your heart forward. If you have more flexibility in the hips, you're going to come all the way down. So placing the heart and the belly and the forehead down onto the mat. So focus on the breath. We'll slowly start to lift back up. Close the feet together, give them a nice big shake. And then from here, we're going to cross the shins and then come down onto our knees and sitting back on the heels. We're coming into our headstand. So if you have a headstand practice, right, we're going to cap the elbows, place them down onto the ground for Shirshasana A, and then interlace the fingers. Now the part of the head that's coming down in between the hands is in between the hairline and the flat part of the head that's lowering down. And then tuck the toes under, lift the hips, then begin to come all the way up. You might just hold in that little egg shape, or you might come all the way up into your headstand. And if headstand's not in your practice, feel free to take a shoulder stand, an assisted shoulder stand with a block under the low back, or if you have a wall near you, you can take a legs up the wall. So if you're in that headstand, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, keep lifting the legs, pressing through the forearms, breathing deeply. Full, steady breaths. And then eventually coming back down, lower to the knees, find child's pose. So anytime you take an inversion like headstand, always make sure that you take a child's pose afterwards to get all the blood relaxed, resituated, back where it needs to be, just to avoid any head rushes. And then we'll slowly come back up. Interlace the hands behind you. Pull the shoulders open. Tip the gaze back. Nice big heart opener here. Lifting the chest. And then release. Come back to neutral. You can shake it out. And then we're going to take a nice little neck stretch. So left hand comes over to the left side. Right hand comes across the left ear. Begin to press the right ear down to the right shoulder. Nice big stretch across the left side. And then just switching hands. So right hand falls, left hand comes across the right side. Little pressure there. This can be as gentle or as intense as you'd like it to be. Keep breathing. Come back. Interlace the fingers. Place them behind your head. And then reach your chin down towards the chest. You can kind of tip the head slightly. Trying to find that sweet spot. Getting out all those little kinks in the neck. Eventually release the hands. Start to roll your neck in one direction. So nice big circles. Getting out all those little pops and cracks, and then switch directions. Full breath. Coming back to neutral. Pull the shoulders up to the ears. Let them slide down the back. Notice how that all feels. And then eventually, we're going to come down onto our back. From here, give the knees a nice big hug. Rock side to side, massage across the lower back. And then allow your knees to drop over to the right side for a gentle spinal twist. And you can always cross your knees or extend a leg here, or just keep the knees on top of each other. So gaze drops to the left. Keep that left shoulder grounding. Full steady breath. Eventually, the knees come back to center. Give them a hug, and then allow them to drop over to the left side. Gaze falls to the right. Come back to center. Give the knees a nice big hug, rocking side to side, and then find a happy baby. So the hands come around the feet, knees press nice and wide, open the hips, rock and roll. And then eventually the feet come down. Start to windshield wiper your knees, left and right. So getting any kind of tension in the hip flexors out. And then as you're ready, coming down to find Shavasana. So as you lower down, just take a nice deep breath in, fill up everything. Open your mouth, sigh it out, let it go. We'll take 2 more. Big breath in, big breath out. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. So begin to land on your mat. So our quote today comes from Patabi Joyce, and he says, "In order to be effective, truth must penetrate like an arrow, and that is likely to hurt." So just settling into your Shavasana. So just begin to bring some awareness back into your body, noticing the pace of the breath, the weight of it, and the quality. Maybe notice other sensations in the body. You can notice the color that you see beneath the eyelids. Notice the heaviness of the shoulders, the heaviness of the hips. You can begin to take very gentle movements, maybe just opening and closing your mouth, swallowing, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Take a nice deep breath in, fill up the whole body, and then open your mouth, let it go, sigh it out. From here, you can start to roll the wrists, roll the ankles, maybe turn your head side to side. You might even reach up, take a big stretch overhead, lengthen, roll off to the side. Just resting for a moment before coming all the way up Finding a comfortable, easy seat and taking the hands together in front of the heart. So take a moment just to notice any shifts or changes from when you first stepped onto your mat. Begin to thank yourself for choosing to practice, for choosing to honor yourself. And thank you all so much for sharing your own practice with me. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this yoga video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you'll never miss a free yoga class. And I would love it if you left a comment so I can connect with you and find out more about the kinds of things that you'd like to see in future yoga videos. For more resources, you can check out KrystaFrench.com. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the mat soon.